it will be 2025.
Yeah.
The APU in the Switch is from 2015.
It will be 10
It's
years
a
old.
10 years gap. I mean, I don't actually know how old the APU will be in the Switch 2. Maybe a year old already. Because obviously it needs time to have been developed and then manufactured and whatever else. They need time to make games for it and stuff. So maybe it's a 2024 chip. I don't know. But 10 years, basically.
Firstly, I will say the best guesses now are it will be an announcement around the start of the year.
Yep.
So end of January, start of February time. We'll hear about it. Best guesses are it won't be released until June.
Yes.
Because there was initial thoughts that we would see it in April, May time. But they are struggling to manufacture.
Yeah.
It's the stories that are coming out anyway. That they would only have, I think it's 650,000 units available if they released
something like that
at the start of their financial year, which is obviously not going to be enough. I think they sold 2 million in the first month of the Switch.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was like,
I think it was less than that. It was like,
it was
no, in terms of time, they sold 2 million like a week or something. It was something silly.
Whatever it was, the number far exceeded what the stock would have, and that would obviously create PS5 problems.
Yes.
We saw.
Yeah, the Switch suffered hard at launch for stock. I remember that much.
I think it will still be a problem.
Yeah,
I think the pent up demand is so huge.
Yeah, everyone's been waiting.
Everyone's been waiting. We've got 146 million units sold of the Switch. What was the active players? It was like 115 million.
It was something insane, wasn't it?
So you've got 115 million people worldwide who are active players of the Switch.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine the vast majority of them have had it for more than 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
So they're all waiting.
Yes.
So it's going to be a huge amount of demand. I think stock's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially
even if they do delay.
I'm getting in day one.
You're getting in day
one.
I
don't care. I'm getting it. I'm pushing people over in the crowd. Get out of my way.
I'm going to see if I can get such a Nintendo PR by then.
Yes, and get us some.
Get some.
128 KB branded ones. Yes. Oh,
wow.
Nintendo Red with 128 KB on the background.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
You want a 128 kilobyte version of
Yes,
Nintendo?
that much storage is what's officially confirmed in the Switch 2, yeah.
That much RAM.
Can you imagine? Can play Pong and Tetris.
Basically, you want a Game Boy.
Yes. But yeah, so I agree though that
stock's going
will
to be a problem.
Be an issue no matter what. Even if they had enough, I think it would be a problem.
Yes, I totally agree.
Because everyone has had the Switch for like 5 years or so by now, and everyone's waiting for that next step up.
DLSS, is it there?
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
It's got to be. This is NVIDIA. So NVIDIA made the original APU.
Yeah.
And they're making the second one, so it will be stupid not to. The whole point of upscaling and stuff is to take load off of the processing to make it easier for the processor instead of just having to have brute force strength to go through. So APUs specifically absolutely need that relief. Yeah. So I feel like I'm 99% certain it will have DLSS in it.
Yeah.
Even if they never tell you.
I fully believe that Nintendo would never call it DLSS.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't call it what it is.
Yeah.
They would likely use some terminology that they make up. And if there was any kind of frame gen, it would be likely their own.
I feel like they won't even say anything. You don't need to know.
You don't. Well, how much is talked about the specs for the Switch?
Exactly.
It just isn't part of the conversation, is it?
No. And it's for, the real techie people, like Digital Foundry, to take that, say, Switch 2 image and go, I can see they're using an upscaler because of the way it's ghosting here or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are the ones that'll be able to tell, but little Billy doesn't care what it is.
At all.
He wants to see how cool Mario is on the new shiny thing he's just got.
I want to see how good Zelda looks,
but
or Metroid Prime
I can
looks.
imagine them poo-pooing upscalers and frame gen and all that kind of stuff. But if they did, like we've spoken about before in the past, actually put like a VRR screen in, I can't imagine them highlighting that as a feature, like we said before, like super smooth or something, because it sounds cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, everything's even more cool, So I can imagine them saying that.
They tend to avoid the commonly used PC language in general, don't they?
Yeah, because it's confusing. It's just buzzwords and jargon.
It's just jargon.
That
true.
people don't care about. Like, is it good? Yes or no? That's what they want to show.
Yeah.
This is the best Mario looks right now ever yet.
Yeah.
You know, they don't need to tell you that behind the thing, the APU's got this many cores and is putting out this much TDP.
It's just that Link's never looked this good in the new
exactly. Yeah, look
remastered
how well
Zelda.
Yeah, look how much popping this 13 FPS Zelda's got.
Hey, look, Pokemon finally works.
Yeah. That's what they're going to be like. Have you ever seen Pokemon work? You have now. They're not going to tell you why it works, but behind the scenes, I absolutely think DLSS will be in there, and I think it will be winning. The thing that will be interesting is whether they manage to get some even real minor base level ray tracing in there. It doesn't need it, in my opinion. There's no need for it at all.
There's no need for it. No.
But imagine how good like a Zelda would look, with some ray tracing in it. Oh, it'd be stunning. Stunning.
Would they be as bold as to introduce like performance options in a menu?
I don't think they would.
It's so un-Nintendo.
It
but
is
like
so un-Nintendo.
have a graphics and performance mode,
I'd
and
be
it
there.
turns on some ray tracing.
I'd be there for it.
It'd be kind of cool.
Want 15 FPS ray tracing? Or
I think about like Prime 4.
Exactly, that's what I want it for.
You get like ray tracing, that would look cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so DLSS is almost certainly going to be there because it's an NVIDIA chip, and by now that's just that's one of the tools they use for everything.
It's necessary for it to output less power, to gain battery life, and keep the FPS higher.
Yeah,
you know, so it's just a win-win.
How much will it outperform PISA?
Oh,
PlayStation's PSSR.
Day one, it will absolutely outperform because already DLSS is so much more. It's got like a bigger foundation, isn't it? It's more developed.
I mean,
we're well in there.
Well in there. What is it? Third
at the minute. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's been around the block.
Yeah. So they know exactly how to use it.
Hey, look at that totally smooth transition. Look at this.
Yeah.
Continuity errors. What are they? Yes, we're wearing different clothes because this is the ending of this clip.
Oh, yes.
If you enjoyed this clip of the podcast, then head over to the main channel to watch the full thing. It's available there for you. It's like an hour long.
It is.
Try it out. It's cool.